The Digital Pearls ODI series comes to its conclusion today in Kingston, Jamaica. Another victory in today's Dead Rubber will help Darren Sammy's men erase memories of their defeats in the first 3 games as they prepare for the Test series. The West Indies lineup today includes that one change, Adrian Barth, who's fit again, hasn't played for the West Indies, I think, since February, the lead up to the Cricket World Cup 2011. Lendell Simmons in good form will continue at the top, and that middle order with Darren Bravo, Sarwan, Marlon Samuels. And then you've got the normal suspects there with Carlton Bowe and Kyron Pollard, who had a good knock last match, and Darren Sammy in there as well. Andre Russell, who's a fantastic all-rounder. Kemar Roach, Anthony Martin. So apart from that one change in Barth, all the rest remains the same from the last match.
India made a couple of changes, so Shikhar Dhawan gets another opportunity to try and establish himself in the team. Parthiv Patel has got starts but hasn't converted them into big scores. And Virat Kohli, Manoj Tiwari, Rohit Sharma, who's been in form, they'll bulk up the middle order. There's Suresh Raina, of course, and Yusuf Pathan, who can come in and hit the ball around. Ravichandran Ashwin, he's more a bowler than a batsman. And Amit Mishra, Vinay Kumar, Ishant Sharma. Vinay Kumar replacing Praveen Kumar. He's been a consistent performer in domestic cricket, so he gets an opportunity here.
It was the minute silence in memory of those two outstanding cricketers and cricket men. Certainly Esmond Kentish played a lot for Jamaica. In fact, played for Oxford University as well when he was there on a course. Now we get back to the present day. Parthiv Patel, who has played really well, very enterprising left-handed batsman, wicketkeeper of course, and has played consistently in the series. And Dhawan comes back now into the side. We had Tiwari opening the batting in Trinidad, certainly didn't look the part, and Dhawan comes back into the side. So 2 left-handers opening the batting. Joel Wilson comes in for his debut. Good to see young umpires come through in the Caribbean. He's from Trinidad and Tobago, one of the many that they're grooming to just come into officiating, and he'll be at the standing end for Kemar Roach with his first delivery. Dhawan in strike. And it's good day to Jeffrey Dujon.
Good day, Tony, and to all our viewers. A little promise of maybe of things to come, that first delivery from Kemar Roach. Pretty short delivery in the middle of the pitch, but it went to ball at a good height, went through with good pace. Nice carry there. A little bit of moisture in the top of this pitch. Might just hold up the ball a little to start with. See that sort of dark colour is what the Sabina Park pitch looks like when there is some moisture on top. That's a good delivery. Swung away from him. Didn't just go across him, forced him to play and just seemed to move away in the air. Drew that bat away from that front pad. There we go. There is a slight breeze going from the batsman's leg to off, and that would have aided the swing of that last delivery.
Joe Wilson has a close look at that one. It was a wide-ish. But, not, in his opinion, wide enough. Here it is. Yeah, quite clearly well inside the line. Made him just play for one delivery so far. Off the mark. So single then to Dhawan brings up Patel into the strike.
He's given himself a number of starts this season, Patel, but just hasn't pushed on.
I think they'll be rueing that they didn't have a gully in there. 2 without loss after 1 over. Now here's Darren Sammy opening the bowling from the George Headley stand end. And flicked away. Outfield won't be that fast. Over on the square sides. Never really is here at Sabina Park. And there's been quite a bit of rain in Jamaica preceding this match. Darren Sammy with 4 wickets in the series so far. The shape of Sabina Park is quite unusual. The square boundaries are very, very long. Straight boundaries are short. You would have played all your cricket here at the Kingston Cricket Club and for Jamaica, West Indies as well, Jeffrey.
Yes, Tony. The straight boundaries are they are shorter than the cover boundaries, but not that much shorter. They're still a pretty good hit to when you hit the ball straight. It's not a small ground by any means.
But of course you would have come up on the old ground before they reconfigured it. Straight boundaries, I remember, were very short. Press box at the far end, the George Headley stand end now, used to be at ground level, and Wes Hall used to come back to the boundary and every now and again would reach his mark and just come back 2 or 3 paces and shake a hand.
And the pitch at that time was really baked clay, no grass, but you could see a face in it, and very quick.
Second time we've seen Dhawan play and miss. Did it in the first over to Roach, now to Sammy.
That's a carbon copy of the shot he played against Roach. Just stops that front foot short and follows it with the bat.
Short boundary down towards the Blue Mountains end. Nicely played. Through extra cover will come for a couple. Another one who is on his home ground here, Marlon Samuels. Nice stride in for Dhawan. That's a fine shot, and as we're saying, that boundary down there is shorter than the square boundaries. It was 4 from the time it left the bat. So good start here for India, having been sent in there 11 without loss after 2.
The bounce and pace of this pitch, and that carried easily to where a finer gully would have been.
Russell right on target. Brilliant in the field early on. I'm going to use the tag which we had in the build-up to the day's play. Not my line, but it sounds good. He's got hustle, he's got bustle, he's got muscle. His name is Russell. He's right on target. He's bowling at good pace. Good start here for Russell.
The end he's bowling into, which is the northern end, notoriously doesn't have the kind of bounce or pace, even though the ball comes onto the bat of the southern end.
In the air, man's coming back to take the catch, and a wonderful catch by Martin. So the short delivery causing the downfall of Patel. Russell strikes in his first over, and a very good catch. Tremendous anticipation by Anthony Martin.
Well, he put some more effort into this ball. The first one was at 81. This is at 83 miles an hour, and Patel not be coming on to him a little bit too soon, and a brilliant catch by Anthony Martin. Kind of catch you would expect him to take, and Russell draws first blood for the West Indies.
So Patel goes for 6. It's 15 for 1 in the fourth over.
Just that little bit of uncertainty to the short ball. That one in particular is looking to stay one side of it. Isn't looking to get in and come behind it. Well, appealing for that, but it was a full delivery. It looked like a bump ball.
Yeah, from here the first reaction was that it was a bump ball. They seem pretty confident, the West Indies, and I'm sure umpires Joel Wilson and Ian Gould may just ask for the assistance of the yes. They're going to go to the television.
At first glance it looked like a full delivery that was played off the bat into the ground. Let's look again. Got it on the full. Outside edge into the ground and to slip.
Only in beach cricket would that have been out. Although I have it seen, I remember seeing in a test match in Barbados, Shadran Chandapal given out, caught it slip. On a very similar instance to that. Joel Wilson standing. In fact, the television replay umpire today is Norman Malcolm, and he was down to do this match, but has an injury. So he can sit in the box and make his decision in the box in a seated position. Joel Wilson taking his place. Well, he meant it to go in the exact opposite direction, where he eventually got it. Square on the offside, looking square on the leg side. Uncertain start here for Dhawan.
Yes, wanted to work this one through the onside. And just got that leading edge. Lucky it was a thick leading edge. I might have given Slip a chance there.
This the fifth and last match in the one-day international series. India have nothing outside of internationals. 3 test matches will follow right away.
Well, that surely beat him for pace. 88.7 miles per hour from Roach. And this one seemed to get onto him before the bat could get to it. Just a square leg and a fine leg and mid-on.
And taken. Sawan goes in slip. He's there instead of Darren Bravo. And Dhawan, who never ever looked comfortable, snicks it, and Sawan holds it in. The new first slip takes the catch. 21 for 2.
And you sense this was coming. Didn't look comfortable against the shorter stuff. Tried to stay one side of it. That's too close to him to cut. And Ball doing the right thing and letting Sawan have a clear view of it, and he takes the catch. 11 to Dhawan, India 21 for 2.
And his bowlers and fielders have done him proud. 21 for 2 in the commentary box now. Fazia Mohammed and Sunil Gavaskar.
Thanks very much, Tony. And what a start for the West Indies. Yes, the series has been lost, but certainly encouraged by this surface.
Yes, plenty of bounce in this pitch, and that has disconcerted the Indian batsman. Shikhar Dhawan, the ball was just a little too close to him to try and play that shot. Ramnaresh Sarwan taking that catch. So India in trouble. 2 wickets down and only 21 runs on the board.
As I said, ideal start for the West Indies. Sunny, good morning to you. But just wondering how much of this will be a concern for the Indians heading into the test match beginning on Monday.
Well, just a little bit of a concern, because somebody like Virat Kohli, he would be in the frame for a place in the Indian test team. But don't forget, the Indian test team that comes here has got batsmen of the quality of Rahul Dravid, VVS Lakshman, Mahendra Singh Dhoni. So they're perfectly capable of playing on bouncy pitches.
That's going to run away. Overpitched, one of the few bad balls this morning, and a boundary to Virat Kohli.
Well, I think it's important how he shapes up, because he's in the test squad, and if he can show that he can adjust to the bouncing ball, then he certainly will be a pick for the test match, because he's an outstanding fielder, Virat Kohli. So it'll be his batting that'll be closely watched, both by the West Indies as well as by the Indians.
And he's looking positive. He's looking a lot more comfortable, a lot more confident than the batting we've seen so far.
Well, he's one of the most exciting batting prospects as far as India is concerned. He's come on so well. He's developed so well in the last year or so, scoring heavily in just about every form of the game. And that confidence is showing. The way he's moving into the drive, the way he's shifting his balance from the front foot to the back foot. Now those are important aspects, and he seems to be pretty comfortable doing that.
A good appeal, but the umpire Ian Gould saying might be doing too much. Good shout nevertheless.
Yes, I think he'll have taken into account that there is some extra bounce on this surface and where the batsman got hit. Remember, Virat Kohli is a batsman who takes leg stump guard, and even as he struck, you can see the middle and off stump, so quite clearly the ball would have been going down the leg side, and he's hit above the knee roll. So the ball would have gone over the stumps, is what Ian Gould thought. And from the Hawkeye, you can see it was just clipping the top of the leg stump.
Good challenge between bat and ball in that over. 25 for 2. In the air for a long while, but well clear of any close infielder.
Well, Shikhar Dhawan hit a lovely boundary off the medium pace of Darren Sammy. But if you have a look at where the ball was, it was near his shoulders. And he was trying to cut the ball. It was too close to him. And Ramna Risawan made no mistake. Virat Kohli now is getting right behind the line of the ball. That's impressive. For batsmen brought up on slow pitches, it's always a little difficult to make the movement from leaning into the front foot to the back foot. It's a lot easier for batsmen brought up on bouncy pitches to come from the back foot play to the front foot play. The problem at the moment for the Indians is not only looking to survive but also looking to score runs. Their run rate is a little over 3. They've lost 2 wickets. They're in the 9th over. Those are his scores for Virat Kohli. 81 at Trinidad. But after that he hasn't really got going.
Wide called by umpire Joel Wilson. Hasn't faced too many anxious moments as yet in his first one-day international as an official. A bit of a bump ball that the West Indies appealed for a catch behind. No doubt there'll be some nerves as well, whether you're a player or an official. Takes the glove and just wide. Full-length dive by Lendl Simmons. Sammy didn't move. He appeared to be closer.
Well, he didn't attempt to play the ball. He saw it was short. He thought he'll drop his wrists and let the ball go past him. But you can see over there that it might have come off the glove. And, well, the gully, I've always felt on a bouncy pitch, the gully has to be closer to the slips and not closer to backward point. And if he had been closer to the slips, that would have been an easy catch. It's on pitches where the ball is moving around a bit that you want the gully to be a little bit wider, more towards cover point. Have a look at this. It's well, it's gone off the forearm. It's gone off the forearm, the right forearm. But there is second slip, and there is the gully. Now, if the gully had been finer, more towards slip, he would not have had to dive at all. And the umpire did not signal leg by, so he thought it had come off the glove. Lovely shot that. Leaning into the drive. That should be a boundary. It's 33 for 2.
And we've got the bowling power play now to follow the mandatory power play over the first 10 overs. So for the next 5, just 3 fielders allowed outside the circle. And the captain Darren Sammy is back on.
Yes, Kamal Roach bowling is a spell of 5 overs. Sammy will probably bring him on for another couple of overs or maybe 3 overs. And then for a final burst of 2 overs. But both the bowlers have done a very good job for the West Indies. They've kept the Indians in check. They've sent the openers back in the pavilion. Dhawan and Patel not quite able to cope with the extra bounce at this Sabina Park pitch. Russell was limping after he bowled some deliveries. So having a little bit of a look-see down there about what's happening. He's telling the physio that it's probably the knee that's hurting him.
That might be a legacy of the diving effort in the field to save the boundary very early on. Even before he came on to bowl, he seemed to be feeling that right knee. The West Indies are already without a number of their key faster bowlers. He's got the boot off. Doesn't seem as if he'll be able to continue. He's going off the field. This is not a good sign for the West Indies. He's off the field out anyway, with Devendra Bishu being on for him. It is not going to be a swift return after getting that treatment.
Yes, he's not looking very comfortable, is he? He's just walking with his head down, which is never a good sign.
Edged and wide of Sarwan. And into the boundary as well. Extra pace and bounce even from Sammy.
Well, just a little bit of movement there for Sammy. But with the white ball and in limited overs cricket, fielders do tend to stand a little bit wider. It's with the red ball that you tend to stand a little bit finer, but well, maybe Sammy wanted Sarwan in the regular first slip position.
Virat Kohli keeps the strike after over number 11, 44 for 2. Tickled away fine, that's gone for 4. The fine leg is up and that was poorly lined.
Yes, that was very nicely played. Didn't try to hit it too hard. He knew that the fielder was in the 30-yard circle. All he needed to do was get a bit of bat on it, and that's what he's duly done. Manoj Tiwari, that boundary will give him a lot of confidence. Still not really moving his feet as he should. Still stuck a bit in the crease, but he's hanging in there.
Do you hanker to be out in the middle against this type of bowling?
No, not really. Quite happy being in the commentary box. It's too hot out there. Quite like the air conditioning here. It's too hot out there.
Even if the heat is not from the pace but from the weather. Very, very still, very humid. 12 overs gone, 53 for 2.
That's a huge hit. Premeditated, got across and whacked it over mid-wicket.
It's an amazing shot. He's covered any movement away which Sammy has been getting. He attempted this shot a little while ago, but only succeeded in getting an outside edge down to third man. This one he's absolutely middled.
This is what happens when you get a bit too predictable. And that's a wide, probably prompted by the delivery before. Went a bit wider. But when your length gets too predictable, which is why we keep talking about variation, mixing up your deliveries, that's when you keep the batsman thinking. When you just trying to plug away at one spot, he's pretty certain of where the next delivery is going to be pitched, and he can play shots like the one we just saw. Now this is Sammy to Tuwari. All those deliveries are on a pretty much the same line, and they're on a good to fullish length. So Tuwari can figure the general area in which Sammy is going to bowl, and if he moves across and gets inside that line, that's in the air, but it'll be safe. Just that knowledge of that general area that the ball is going to be gives him an idea of where he will be in relation to the line if he moves. And again, he's just come down and whacked that wide of mid-off. This is Kohli this time. But they're using the fact that Sammy has to pitch the ball in a certain area on a certain length. Sammy needs to think about changing up his pace.
Wonder how much those shots were instigated by the batting power play, which is now complete. 15 overs gone, 73 for 2.
It's been a really well planned out partnership by these two. You can see that they've decided to target Sammy.
Andre Russell's back on the field. Left the field a little while ago. It's probably the one thing that would be ideal for me in conditions like these, just to have maybe an opportunity to have a third bowler with that extra pace would be a really good option to have to back up Andre Russell's aggression and Kemar Roach's pace. Just to have no let up at all in that pace would be a nice option.
You'd have to say, even though there is a bit of bounce, this is a good pitch. It's a good pitch to bat on. You can hit through the line. There's a little bit of extra bounce, as there should be. He'll definitely signal that wide.
At Sabina Park during my time and what we've seen subsequently, more often than not, has always been a good cricket surface. There have been the odd years where it's not really played as it should, been prepared as it should. But it's always been rock hard, Jeffrey, and you would know better than anyone else in this box that there's been a sheen, and once you put something in, generally as a bowler you get something out of it. As a batsman, if you can play the horizontal bat shots, you score runs. There was a period where it was up and down a lot towards the back end of matches. That seems to have been rectified.
It's generally been good, and it's been good for one-day games. That's hit the edge, and he's out. Pollard picks up a wicket. Just opened the face on it. Did Tuwari? He got an outside edge. Had he not opened the face, would he have been better off? Not too sure. Takes the edge ball, takes a good catch. 16 overs have gone, and it's 79 for 3 and drinks. But Rohit Sharma, it is the new batsman. Fairly healthy. 750s and 200s, fairly healthy average for just 66 matches. Now, the West Indies must realize that they've just broken a partnership. The ball is more likely to be played in that on the onside with the angle. He's sprayed that one, and that's just clipped away for 4. It's highly unlikely that he's going to err outside off stump. That's where he's going to make his errors. Gets very wide on the crease, was Kieron Pollard. Got all sorts of technology. Here are the release points of Kieron Pollard to the right-handers. And that's where he got the wicket from. Just got one to straighten slightly that white flashing ball. So he uses the crease quite a bit, mostly going wide on it. Easy 2 in the end. Shouldn't have been. But India sent into bat after 20 overs are 95 for 3.
Just a single. Yeah, we are born on the same date, myself and Sonny, but a few years apart.
Yes, and we're kind of hoping to celebrate that in Dominica, because that's the last day of the Test series. Whether then we are also celebrating an Indian win or a West Indies win, that remains to be seen, Tony.
Oh, lovely shot. Lovely shot. He delayed it, and it's gone for 4. Waited for it and cut it away. Kohli's such a fine young player.
Yes, it's very exciting prospect for India. This is the quicker one, a little bit short, and what Virat Kohli did was he just moved a little bit to the leg side, gave himself more room to be able to cut that ball and cut it fine. Excellent shot that from Virat Kohli.
Now that's close, I would say, coming across his stumps a long way, but leg by signalled. Russell perhaps delivering from wide of the crease, so the angle would have carried it down leg side.
Yes, quite clearly going down the leg side, because when the impact on the pads was seen, you could also see the middle and off stump. He does tend to get a little bit wide of the crease and angle the ball into the batsman, Andre Russell.
Chance for a run out, and my goodness, Russell was waiting for it, didn't read it at all. Bharat at mid-off just didn't read the situation at all. Kohli was halfway down, and all he needed to do was throw the ball back to Russell. He went for the stumps instead. Russell was there waiting for it. Look how far out he was. So a chance missed. Lovely stand to the north, constructed for the 2007 World Cup, as so many of the stadiums were in the West Indies, either brand new stadiums or those who were just spruced up. A number of new stands put in.
Oh yeah, boy.
Martin continues in his fourth over now. Has bowled well, Anthony Martin. Every time he's come back in, he took a great catch today. Full toss and put away. Yes, 4 runs. Past Sammy at that shortish extra cover position. Bad delivery from Martin and seized on by Kohli.
Yes, good use of the feet. He saw the ball being tossed up. There was not much of a gap between that fielder at short mid-off and extra cover. But he hit it beautifully between there.
Oh yeah.
Just getting a little uncertain with their running with wickets. There's plenty of yes and no going on. This was the boundary that he hit off the full toss. Good use of the feet.
So very good half century for Virat Kohli. 50 off 64 deliveries. Should have been run out a while ago. But the West Indies failed to take the chance. Otherwise, it's been a flawless innings by him. Batted superbly. And an important one as well after the early loss of the opening batsman.
He's bowling well, Anthony Martin. Was boundary hit off his bowling earlier in the over by Virat Kohli, but he's generally bowled a good line. He's not a big turner of the ball, but he's very accurate.
Five off the over, 109 for 3. Straight to the fielder. Couple of more leg spinners in the West Indies. They brought in Bishu, in fact, for the World Cup, and that was a surprise. And here was a leg before appeal from Martin. He's very enthusiastic. He appeals for almost anything once the ball hits the pad. But I think it's as much as his bowling, his attitude has impressed the selectors.
I'd imagine that he'd be pretty good in the dressing room as well, Anthony Martin, with his bubbly personality. You need characters in the dressing room to keep the dressing room in a positive frame of mind when things are not going your way.
Lovely shot. Now the ball is going to go to the boundary. Beautifully played away. Kohli just showing us more and more why he's so highly rated in India. Another boundary for him is 7th.
Well, he just stood up there because it was a nice juicy full toss, and all he had to do was to make sure he hit it between the fielders. That he has done. This is the second half of the Indian innings.
Go.
Delicate shot, and it's going to go for 4. A little bit of a downhill incline. Ball didn't slow up much, and a very neat shot to get a boundary.
It's very nicely done. He was right on top of the ball. A lot of batsmen get out caught behind when they're not on top of the ball. You could see that Kohli was right on top, and lucky for the fielder there, he could have slammed into that concrete railing there.
Over has produced 7 runs, 132 for 3.
Yes.
Edge, 4 runs, downhill. Once it gets downhill there, it's going to go all the way.
Four runs in the current form of Virat Kohli.
too much width. Doesn't have the pace to be allowed to get away with something like that, almost off the bottom of the bat. And there was always a safe shot once he cleared that backward point.
Critical here that Suresh Raina, who's slated to come in next, if he gets an opportunity, can be a solid finisher of an innings. "97-run partnership." There he is. Captain played 3 bad shots in a row in the last 3 matches.
Don't worry about bad shots. What about bad hair day? Or maybe that's the style in the back there, it's sticking out a bit. Everything is about style and fashion these days.
Yeah, hair sticking out in the back is not a problem that I can testify to. "35 overs gone, 177 for 3. Continue. Good shot. Mid on and mid off up, and that was thumped.
And a really emphatic way to bring up the century partnership. Right in the slot. Back over mid off. No fast bowler likes to be treated that way, but it was an excellent stroke by Rohit Sharma.
Rohit Sharma was averaging 200 coming into this contest today. With the bat, that's gone up significantly as he's gone to 43 not out. Kohli into the 90s. Could be 2. In fact, easy 2. Well-weighted shot. Taking the pace off the ball and dropping it softly.
Another good partnership. And, these two, they might be feeling the effects of the heat. They had some towels brought out to the interval at the last over. Maybe some iced towel just to cool them down a bit. They'll be looking to pick up the pace over the next 15 overs or so.
Of course, there are variations to those towels around the necks of the players. I remember the first time I saw it, I think Australia were playing in Sharjah somewhere, and they have these little neckties that are really filled with ice and kept in buckets for that specific purpose of cooling down the players.
Might have been the test match against Pakistan that finished in 2 days. The Pakistanis were shot out for 50 odd both times. And it was a searing hot time. It was the summer months in the Arabian Peninsula. It was absolutely sweltering. Sort of like a regular day at the Australian Open.
Yeah, that would have been a no ball. Somebody needs to come up into the circle. Sammy's asking long off to come up as Roach got halfway and somebody shouted, "We've only got 3 in the circle." That would have been Pollard. Coming back for two, could be tight. Oh. No, we'll have to have a look at this again. Sarwan was the man fielding down there at the deep square.
I get the feeling he's in some trouble here. Sliding, and I think he might be out of his ground. Yeah, he's gone. No question about it. It was his call. He decided to come through for the second run. A good return from Sarwan, just a bit away from the stumps. And a Carlton ball with the momentum, getting it onto the stumps, and we're going to see the red light very shortly. There it is. Virat Kohli missing out on another one-day international 100.
Now he'll be distraught. To do it at any point and get run out is terrible, but particularly when you're in the 90s, yeah, he's slammed his bat into his pad. Got rid of it quickly, Sarwan. Yes, it was a little bit to ball's left. And he collected it well, accurate enough throw. And that is a disappointment. An end to a good innings. 189 for 4.
Well, thank you, Vish, and he chanced his hand there, Kohli, and a superb piece of fielding by Sarwan. Very strong throw and accurate. Had some problems over the years with his elbow, but that's behind him now. Now Pollard. Remember the days when Sarwan had as strong a throw as anyone on the team, and then his shoulders started to give him trouble. There was a time that he used to just toss the ball in underhand. It was so painful. And now it's back, and there's proof. Good catch at slip today, so he's had a good day in the field, Sarwan, as the West Indies have had.
Yes, they haven't wilted under the pressure. The Indians have put up a couple of good partnerships after the last early wickets. One for the bouncer. That's what's been a signal to the newcomer. Look at that. Picks it up well. Nice balance and hurls it pretty quickly. Low to the wicketkeeper. And the Carlton ball gets it off. Virat Kohli knows he was in trouble. There it is. I think that first turn he started a little bit slow.
Yeah, still bunks in this pitch, and you would expect that from a tall man, even though he's just medium pace. Pollard coming from a real height. Nice bounce.
Still not off the mark. Look at that. And he knows he was in trouble. He knows he was in trouble. Even Sharma knew that it was going to be tight.
A superb innings from Kohli once more, just showing us his class. 104 deliveries for his 94. Ten fours in that innings of 94. So we still haven't had 100 in the series. 94 from him, and 92 not out from Andre Russell. In the air, fielder is under it, will take the catch, and does. Well, that's a waste of a wicket, Raina. He's shown questionable judgment so far in this series, as he does there. Barat holds the catch in the deep, Pollard strikes, fourth ball dismissal for Raina, 190 for 5.
Well, 3 dot balls, and Raina decides to go the aerial route. This is only the 37th over, so 13 overs yet to come. That is not good selection, not good at all. And Kieran Pollard, he is delighted because he knows that Raina can be a dangerous batsman. But he's out for a duck. It's 190 for 5.
New batsman in. Yusuf Pathan comes in now. He won't face the ball, was in the air long enough for the batsman to cross. He hasn't had a good series at all, Pathan with the bat.
It could be Dhoni at 7, Harbhajan at 8. And whether they go in with another spinner or go in with a 3-man seam attack, that remains to be seen. If it's a 3-man seam attack, it could be Shan Sharma Munaf.
Oh, yes, my boy.
And possibly Praveen Kumar as well.
Interesting choice here by Sami. He's brought back Lendl Simmons, who has had 4 overs. 6 bowlers used. Swung away. That's typical Pathan. Of course, Simmons did get him out last time, as we'd mentioned, that misguided shot which lofted in the air down to long off.
Yes, that time he was hitting, trying to hit over long off. This time he's hit it over mid-wicket, close the face of the bat. And that'll give him confidence. And that's the only reason I think Simmons has been brought back, because he got him out just a couple of days back. It's a bit of a psychological advantage. And also I think the awareness that Pathan's the kind of batsman who would like to exact revenge and may go after him again, and therein lies the chance for the West Indies to pick another wicket.
Well, he's bowled a bouncer. It's gone over Pathan's head. And if it goes over Pathan's head, it's bound to go over Carlton Ball's head. There's about a foot difference between them in height. And it's a wide and goes for 4 as well. So that counts as 5.
Well, he's done it quite easily, isn't it, Yusuf Pathan? Just moving away from that short delivery, not even trying to play it. Carlton boy, he's standing up to the stumps. He had no chance. 5 extra runs, bonus runs.
Yusuf Pathan, of course, had that tremendous 100 in a one-day international against South Africa. 104. Correct, 105, 8 4s, 8 6s, 70 deliveries, and really got a lot of praise for that. Taking the single. A little bit of confusion between Pathan and Simmons, but in the end, Pathan getting home quite comfortably.
Yes, Simmons actually recovered pretty quickly from the follow-through and went close to the ball. That's what caused that confusion in the minds of the batsman. Turning out to be a pretty good over for the Indians. 11 runs with that 5 bonus runs for the wide balls. The one that went over Carlton Ball.
Extra run given away unnecessarily. First really poor piece of cricket from the West Indies. Sami always was one he won. They took 2 in the end.
Well, Pollard would know exactly how it feels, because he himself is a big hitter. So he'll be thinking to himself, well, what's the kind of delivery that I don't want to face as a batsman? Bowling the slower leg cutter.
Nudges a single. IPL players, of course, with the West Indies, Pollard's out there. Mumbai Indians. Dwayne Bravo was asked to be rested for these matches, else he'd be playing as well. From the champions, Dwayne Bravo, Chennai Super Kings. Very good 50 from Sharma. Form batsman for India. No bother whatever. A 4 and that tremendous 6 off Kemar Roach over long off. 66 deliveries.
Yes, another classy effort from this elegant batsman. But he's got to keep going for his team's sake. It is hot out there, very hot out there. But India need him to stay right till the end.
Tracked him down, they'll get a single for it. Didn't handle it very well at all, Patan. Pollard just shortening it from that height. He does get lift.
Well directed too by Pollard, bowling at a little over 80 kilometers per hour. And as Tony said, with the height, cramping him for room. Lucky for Yusuf that it went over the wicket keeper. A very good delivery.
Yeah, we're seeing how hot it is out there without saying exactly how hot. Temperature would be in the mid 30 degrees, 35, 36 degrees Celsius. Out in the middle, perhaps feeling even more than that. There's a breeze that's sprung up since the start of play, but it doesn't get in there, as you can see. George Headley stand blocked off at the back. Useful over, 4 runs off it, 216 for 5, 42 overs gone. And now we're going to get the batting power play, 5 overs, only 3 fielders can be outside the ring, 216 for 5. In the commentary box now, Fazir Mohammed, and with him, Jeffrey Dujon.
Thanks very much, TC. 8 overs to go. India well set. We'll look for 2, but decide against it. Karen Pollard very quick across the ground, as we've seen already. What do you think, Douche? India getting up to 270, 280 here?
I think it's quite possible. Into the batting power play. They'll have to pick the spots where they're going to get the boundaries, because boundaries is what they really want now during the power play, to make the maximum use of it. Sharma's wagon wheel, he scored all around the ground, as you would expect of a good player. He's really knocked it around and picked up a lot of singles.
It always reminds me almost of Javed Miandad, who played that type of innings very regularly for Pakistan. Very pugnacious, not a tremendous amount of boundaries.
He's scored some 38 singles in that 53. It means he's looked to rotate the strike. He's hit 1-4 and 1-6.
Well, you compare that batting of Rohit Sharma with the man who's just picked up the ball, Adrian Bharat, out on the deep mid-wicket boundary. When he scored his 100 on debut in Test cricket, he had just 5 singles in that 100. He's gone over the top now, has Rohit Sharma, and will be able to get only his second 4. He's got a 6 as well, but making room and looking to accelerate off the bowling of Anthony Martin.
Well, as I'd said before, they need to start picking the spots where they're going to get boundaries and give himself some room there, did Rohit Sharma. You can expect to see some unorthodox shots. Bowled him. Straight through him, played right across a straight one. Last ball of Anthony Martin's spell, he picks up a wicket, his second.
Well, it's worth the celebration of the bowler on its own. Anthony Martin, straight delivery, hustled through, hitting the leg stump. And what's the celebration?
Well, he bowls between wicket and wicket all the time, does Anthony Martin. He keeps it on the stumps, just angles it slightly in, encouraging the batsman to try to go across it. And Sharma couldn't resist the temptation this time and goes for 57. We've had 43 overs now, and India are 225 for 6.
Ravichandran Ashwin is the new man who's come to the crease.
Andre Russell. It will be to bowl to Pathan.
Up and under. One bounce for 4. Really the springboard almost, using the bat to that lifting delivery.
Well, they've found a wicket that bounces the West Indies, and I think they've a bit overused the short ball a bit. This gave Pathan some room, and instead of swatting at it, he just did something creative. Just used the bat as a little ramp. That was Rohit Sharma's wicket. Whereas if you're going to bowl short, you need to be bowling at the batsman. You can't be giving him room. Sharma there trying to encourage Martin to bowl off the stumps. Wasn't successful, so he backed away to start with and then came back inside his stumps to see if he could get inside the line of the ball. But Martin dead on. Mishra Kumar and Isant Sharma to come next. It's going to be very interesting to see exactly where Martin has bowled, because we've seen him bowl very consistently, and there's the proof. Everything more or less directed at the stumps, just a few offline, but everything on a good length, the majority on a good length, and just on inside or outside that off stump, but all angled in at the stumps.
Wisely sent back. Anthony Martin again at the centre of the action. In fact, it was Adrian Barrett on that occasion at the backward point. But so full of life, so full of energy.
Well, he could have. I think he would have had him there, but the man backing up just couldn't get in line on time.
And this is all of the chatter right after he had gotten the wicket, having a word with Yusuf Pathan. And he's certainly backing up all of that chat with his performances in the last couple of matches. He went on for a while. He's saying, look, why are you guys here? Where's Sehwag? Where's Gambhir? Where's Tendulkar? Bring the big dogs. I want to deal with them. I think Gavaskar is up in the commentary box. Bring him too. Another mix-up, another throw, and another near miss. 44 overs completed, 232 for 6.
Kumar Roach now from the north.
high in the air and will go all the way. There was no long leg anyway. The fielder was in at a short fine leg, and even though it was top edge, was always going to carry for 6.
This wasn't particularly good thinking. You got no long leg, you got no deep backward square leg. So the last thing you should be thinking about doing is bowling a short ball. But clearly it wasn't the last thing that he was thinking about.
Miscued, will fall safe. But you made the point earlier, Douche, about the faster bowlers getting carried away with finally getting a pitch with a bit of juice in it, a bit of life in it, and losing some of their disciplines.
So with the field set the way it is, I can't think that Kemar Roach would have been running in a while ago with the intention of bowling a short ball. I think it just occurred to him a few steps away from the stumps. That's where he should be looking to put it. Or at the stumps.
I'm sure he didn't intend to concede that boundary though, but it was well played by Ashwin, just taking the pace of the delivery past where a first slip would have been.
Well, it's a good shot, but at least the line of the ball is directed towards where he has fielders.
Well, the captain probably asking, where are you going to bowl now? I'm trying to set the field for deliveries that are pitched up, on off stump, but now we've got to rethink things.
I think it should be a no-brainer at this point. You got to bowl full and straight, just like that. And that should have been his first thought from his first ball.
Despite that dot ball, he's gone for 11 runs so far in the over. Always puts the pressure back on the bowler when you get a boundary off the first delivery. This time it was 6.
So even if it doesn't get right up into the block hole, the batsman is taking a chance if he plays across it. So his other alternative is to hit it straight down the ground where you have men fielding. So at most it's a single. At this point you don't have to be looking to bowl wicket taking balls. You're looking now to bowl containing balls to encourage a batsman to get themselves out.
Wrong line, but gets away with only a single. That results in 12 runs, 13 runs coming off the over, 245 for 6. I think he got the glove, but it was so much of a slower delivery that it died on its way through to bowl.
Now that again was a short pitch delivery, slow delivery, did take the glove, but the fine leg is up. So had that got a little bit of bat and gone a bit wider, he'd have had no chance. Field not set for a short pitch delivery.
Edged and caught, straight forward. Andrew Russell with that trademark celebration. Another wicket. And once more, he continues to perform well for the West Indies. Yusuf Pathan, another relative failure.
Well, he bowled the next one on the side that the fieldsmen were set on. And a healthy edge from Pathan carries the ball. Andre Russell on the board again.
The Bretley type celebration ends Yusuf Pathan's innings, gone for 30, 245 for 7. Amit Mishra comes to the crease. And begins with a wide, and again a wasted delivery, an extra delivery and an extra run. Nothing much to suggest that he could contribute significantly, Amit Mishra.
And that was Pathan. Got some width. Was looking to go over the top.
Bowl him. Another wicket. Another celebration from Andre Russell. And as we suggested, the numbers weren't on the side of Amit Mishra.
Well, Mishra looked to try to give him the charge. Not sure if he's good enough to do that. Here he comes. And very good delivery. Just hitting the top of off stump. Kicks his heels up as well he should. And Mishra goes without scoring. India 246 for 8.
Didn't play any of the previous fixtures on the international schedule. This would have been his last opportunity after the demise of Amit Mishra.
Came down looking to carve it over cover. Better directed delivery from Andre Russell. Delivery before was short and innocuous, to say the least. Well, that was a reasonably quick delivery, just under 85 miles an hour, and better directed.
Two wickets in the over, and the only run has been the wide. And, the batting has really tailed away after Kohli and Sharma went. They were looking really good for 280 to 90 minimum. And an over that produced 2 wickets, spoiled only by the wide. 246 for 8 with 4 to go. Thinking of 2, that would have been suicidal, surely. With Vinay Kumar in the Indian team, it leaves Riddhiman Saha, the reserve keeper, as the only one in the squad for these limited over matches who will not get a game.
Must count himself unlucky, because if it wasn't for the runs that Partik Patel had been making, he certainly would have gotten an opportunity, because Patel's wicket keeping hasn't been of the highest standard in this series, but he has been getting runs at the top of the innings, and that's probably kept him in the team.
Edged and put down. Came off the glove of Bo into the body, into the shoulder of Darren Sammy. Instinctive reaction by the keeper, but he couldn't hold on.
Kimar Roach must be wondering when his luck is going to change. Little leg cutter. And Bo, once he went for that, should have taken it. Just deflects it into Sammy's chest, not giving him any chance.
A blemish for Bo. He's had a very good series, growing in confidence, but this was clearly an error on his part. He's a little man, but if you're going for it, you've got to take it. Sammy really had no chance after that deflection. Slashed away, at least two. Darren Bravo getting accustomed to life out on the boundaries.
That's where you end up when you get banished from the slips, I suppose.
Well, that's one aspect of his game that he really has to work on. I don't think it's belaboring the point. He's a quality batsman, but he needs to work on his fielding.
Here's that. One of the reason why he's been banished.
Backing away to leg, and the catch is taken. Taking it on the glove, another wicket for Kumar Roach. And not able to handle the short pitch stuff, Vinay Kumar.
Well, Carlton Ball wouldn't take the hard one, so decides to give him an easy one. Followed him with this one to leg, and just got too big for him, too quick, and Ball holds on safely. This time Vinay Kumar gone for 2, India 249 for 9.
New over. Single puts the new batsman, the last man for India, on strike. Ishan Sharma, who might enjoy the pace and bounce when he's bowling in a little while, might not be too comfortable with the bat in hand at number 11 in the order.
This is the wicket. Followed him, he was backing away to start with, and seemed to have caught the handle of the bat. Just the glove, and lob to Carlton Ball. This is the luxury a fast bowler who can bat has. He's not too worried about bowling short balls at his counterparts because he's good enough to handle them. Impressive figures once more.
Another power play full of wickets. 4 wickets and just 33 runs. And the Indian innings losing steam.
Another wasted short ball. There's only a fine leg, deep backward square leg, and I somehow don't think that Sharma would be thinking about hooking, but maybe just fending it off. So maybe there should be someone close in on that leg side.
Bowl him, and that's the end of the innings. Andre Russell gets wicket number 4 to lead the effort of the West Indies, helping the home side come back after India were cruising with the pair of Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma at the crease. A really good effort from the West Indies.
Well, he bowled him the old 3-card trick, 2 short balls and a Yorker, and it worked out for him. He won't be too happy about that, the coaching staff of India. And there you have it, 94 from Kohli. Fine innings, 57 by Sharma to follow up, 30 by Pathan. But the man who should have gone on, Sharma, got run out, and that changed things as the innings seemed to just fall away. 4 wickets for Andre Russell, the standout. Sammy was expensive, only bowled 6, 2 for Pollard and 1 for Anthony Martin, who bowled extremely well. So that's the sum total of what we have had for the day. The last 7 wickets fell for 62 runs in 11.3 overs. Disappointing for India.
We're back here at Sabina Park in Jamaica for the second half of this 5th and final Digital Pearls ODI between the West Indies and India.
So first time we'll, and if they do get them, first time we'll see 500 runs scored in the day. But as Jeffrey Dujon was saying, the pitch looks really good for both quick bowling, ball coming onto the bat. Ishant Sharma, who's about 2 feet taller than that fellow there. Adrian Barat returning to the West Indies team. He won't face. It's his Trinidad and Tobago countryman, Lendl Simmons. A strike from a new player. Vinay Kumar was taken over from his namesake, Praveen Kumar. First time we're seeing him in the Caribbean. Didn't play in the earlier matches. Sun Gavaskar is here to tell us about him.
Afternoon, everybody. Yes, Vinay Kumar's a good seam bowler. Gets the ball to move either way. He's not express. Bowls a good line in length. Has been very successful in domestic cricket. But because there is something in the pitch, he will also enjoy bowling on the surface. Ishant Sharma definitely, yes. I think you would have seen the kind of bounce that both Andrew Russell and Kemar Roach were getting, and even Kieron Pollard. So he won't be surprised if he gets a little more bounce. He'll certainly bend his back, Ishant Sharma.
So West Indies on the way. Lendl Simmons has been in very good form in the one-day version of the game. Had a rather disappointing test series against Pakistan. 2 tests in that. But has been very consistent in the one-day internationals. Leading West Indies scorer against Pakistan. Now Barat. Adrian Barat has been out of the game since the West Indies were in Sri Lanka in January, just as a prelude to the World Cup. In fact, they were there scheduled for 3 one-day internationals, which would have taken the place of 5 one-day internationals scheduled on the earlier tour of Sri Lanka. They were cancelled because of the weather, and they went back to Sri Lanka for 3 one-day internationals preceding the World Cup. Got 100 there in the first one-day international. In fact, only half a match was completed. The West Indies batted, and then the rain came, abandoned that first match, and Barat got 100 there, and then strained a muscle in one of the warm-up matches. There were 2 others, one against Sri Lanka, one against Kenya, and that ruled him out of the World Cup, and he hasn't played since then.
It's over.
So just a single off the first over from Vinay Kumar. West Indies 252 to win, 1 without loss. Scramble through for the leg by. I don't know if we're being finicky or what, but looking at Suresh Raina, has that right hand strapped, and right across the It's almost like a glove. And he's not the only one. We see it quite regularly now in the game. Sliced away the third man into his lap. Sliced away straight into his lap. Simmons going after it. Mishra didn't have to move. And Kumar gets a wicket early on. The West Indies have lost their most consistent batsman in the series. Simmons 12 for 1.
Well, I think he just got a little bit desperate because the first few overs have been very well bowled by the Indians. Not given them too much of weight, not given them too many loose deliveries. So got a bit desperate, Lendl Simmons, and sliced it straight to deep third man. He's out for 6, it's 12 for 1.
Ramesh Shawan's become accustomed to coming in early. West Indies innings, here he is again. Had a good day so far in this match. Good shot, slip catch. Being placed at first slip in place of Darren Bravo. And taking the early wicket with that slip catch. Here's the dismissal of Simmons right in. So often we see that in the limited overs form of the game. Although we also saw it in the test match against Pakistan. Not surprisingly, Umar Akmal was the batsman, going for a shot similar to that of Ravi Rampal.
Well, he's bowled so well, Praveen Kumar. I beg your pardon, Vinay Kumar.
Of course, these days you get your technical staff from all over the world. Simons from South Africa, worked with the South African team for some time. Of course, Duncan Fletcher from Zimbabwe worked with England. Very successful campaigner. Trevor Penny on the right from England. From Zimbabwe, sorry. Fielding coach. The West Indies, of course, have tried with a few foreign coaches. Bennett King of Australia. His assistant, David Moore, filled in for a while. And John Dyson, also from Australia. And they've gone with Otis Gibson. And we are already seeing some confrontations, differences in philosophy. Very forthright man is Otis Gibson. Barbadian by birth. England bowling coach for a spell. Played a couple of test matches for the West Indies in the late 1990s.
Very disciplined start by the Indian bowlers. They will feel that they didn't get the kind of score they should have got on this track. They've started very well. And at this point, the West Indies, having West Indies at 17 for 1, they themselves were 25 for 2. So the West Indies with a wicket in hand, you could say. And not too far off the pace.
Favourite shot for Sarwan. Short of a length, no real pace to it, and Sarwan latched onto it.
Well, he gets out to the ones that are straight at him, but when it's just outside off stump, that's when he's in control. He just swatted this one away. Really tends to get in trouble when the ball is more directed at him. Doesn't get either side of it. But a good confident stroke.
More confidence here. won't get to the boundary. But just easing the pressure somewhat. Following up that short ball with a half volley.
Yes, well, it wasn't exactly a half volley, but saw one stroking through the line of it. I've seen that this pitch does come onto the bat. So things quiet up to this point. The crowd having a little bit to cheer about.
Again, seemed to be premeditated. Really wasn't there for the shot. End of the over, 23 for 1. The wind has gotten so strong that it's torn that temporary roof, the tarpaulin of that area of the Kingston Cricket Club. So it's really gusting now. In the meantime, the West Indies innings is just a bit becalmed by this excellent bowling. Still struggling to find the gap. There are 3 of them just in that arc on the offside.
Not getting any big turn, Mishra, so far. And Sawan picks the wrong one. That was the googly, and whips it away nicely, wide of mid-on.
Well, he picked it well. Looked to be another one of those straighter deliveries with the scrambled seam, and he was waiting for that opportunity. Sawan tugging it through the onside.
Yes, look more like a flipper than the wrong one. So they get 4 off Mishra's first over. It's 29 for 1.
You might as well call this a mandatory power play as well. The bowling power play almost always is taken from the 11th to the 15th overs.
So Sharma's been switched around. Coming from the end, he's coming with the wind now, which I always reckon you should have your fastest bowler doing. Just gives him that little bit of help to get up to the stumps. Seemed to have been struggling with his rhythm early on, Nisant Sharma. And now he'll have a little wind at his back.
Thanks to this impressive looking edifice that is the north stand, you don't really see the blue mountains in the background anymore when you're sitting at the George Headley stand end at the southern end of the ground. But there they are, just behind that north stand that went up in time for the World Cup. But a grey cloud in the distance as well. Fortunately, that doesn't usually come this way. The mountain view area on the right with some pretty posh dwellings up there. Over the top. Again, for Sarawak, just give him a bit of width and he's got every chance of capitalizing.
Well, the bounce is of such that you can trust it. Sawan, given the use of his arms, just slashes that one away. Once you can trust the bounce, you can play shots like that. Made up his mind he was going to give himself room. It was just a matter of where he was going to hit it. But he's batting with a lot more confidence now, Ramner Sawani seemed to have grown in confidence as the series has gone on. He's got 250s behind him. And now taking charge as a number 3 should.
And of course, he would be mindful that he is in the land of the original number 3 for the West Indies at international level. The great George Headley, whose name adorns the stand to the south, whose statue is outside the ground. Sarwan very often at that position of number 3, but his best numbers actually coming at number 4, where he averages over 50. In fact, at number 6, where he averages almost 70. But really, someone of his experience is vital in this inexperienced batting lineup.
He's keeping things going at a time when things are a bit slow. Nothing coming much from the other end. Adrian Bharat on 8 from 23 deliveries. He hasn't really found any sort of rhythm himself. He hasn't had a whole lot of competitive cricket lately. Certainly no cricket of this level. But with the exclusion of Chris Gayle, he would appear to be a prime candidate to open in the first test, at least. And there's Chris Gayle. Feeling very green today.
What's with the Dr. J hairstyle? Extra bounce, couldn't get it away. 7 off the over, 36 for 1.
And there's the one that he really expects to spin a lot. Tries to get it to drop on the seam. Control is so good from Misra.
Bharat needs to be careful here. He might play a lot of spin in his native Trinidad and Tobago, but you wouldn't be facing spin of this quality. He's got to respect these good deliveries. The West Indies need to keep wickets in hand. That's exactly why he can't take too many risks. He's a big turner of the ball.
Doesn't put a lot on every delivery, does Mishra. But he seems to be able to get it to rip that little bit more when he wants to. We're at safely home this time.
We'll push for 2. As attacking as he is, he should be mindful that Rohit Sharma got to a half century with just 1 4 and 1 6 in his innings. It's not always about boundaries. Mishra just in the same area, thereabouts to the 2 right-handers. Big heave towards the onside and gets it away for 4. Not entirely convincing. Almost a release of pressure from Adrian Bharat. 42 for 1 after 12. And another edge to start over number 15. Getting very close to the boundary. And just coming to a stop as they complete 3. So the fortune going the West Indies' way so far in their pursuit of 252. Sarwan for his favourite cut shot. And again, is Virat Kohli the man under the microscope at slip? As we hand over the commentary to Sunil Gavaskar and Ian Bishop.
Well, Virat has been a fielder at backward point. That's his speciality. The West Indians opening up now, putting pressure on the Indian bowlers. Suddenly in the last 4-5 overs, they have upped the scoring rate. This is the last ball of the previous over, just trying to guide the ball, and wasn't able to hold on to it.
Well, that's impossible, really, because Bharat would have been run out there by some distance, even had the return been gathered and hit the stumps. He was totally unsighted as to the ball going behind him. There was never one. And he's living a charmed life. He's been put down twice, could have been run out twice.
Yes, I think his judgment of a run is certainly not good. That could well be because he's been out of international cricket, competitive cricket for about 4 months. But certainly his calling is pretty ordinary. I think it's understandable that Ramnaresh Sarwan did not go through with that. I mean, if you have a look at that again, you'll find that Bharat himself, now if he could not have come back when he'd just barely gone about 5 or 6 yards down the pitch, how was he expecting Sarwan 22 yards away to make it?
Well, India missing opportunities, really missing opportunities. At least 5 opportunities have gone a-begging. Another chance for a run out? No. Bharat took off late, but he gets there.
53 for 1. So just 4 fielders in the 30-yard circle at the moment. A slip, backward point, extra cover and a mid-wicket. And now he won't be apprehensive about tossing the ball up. He knows he's got some protection at deep point and deep mid-wicket as well.
Well, he got a long way across, Bharat. He did get a long way, fell across his front leg and found that it was a lot straighter in terms of its line, the delivery. So his struggles have ended.
I don't think he picked that delivery. He'd moved a little bit across. That was the googly all right. So trying to play it as a leg spinner. Missed it completely. And he was struck on the front pad. Amit Mishra knew he had his man. So Bharat's innings has ended for 17. West Indies have lost their second wicket for 53.
Darren Bravo replaces Adrian Barrett. It's a good breakthrough for India. Muffed a couple of chances, a number of chances of Bharat, but it hasn't cost them too much.
Thank you, Ian Bishop. Soup. I think I heard this story. Was there last night, in fact. Restaurant which has your name on it. Soup du jour, du jaune instead of du jour. Breeze coming very strongly across the ground, and it could well be that a cloud is developing. Yeah, there it is. And India well ahead on the Duckworth Lewis. There goes Dujan. There goes Sarwan. And it's gone all the way. It's gone for 4. Well played, Duj.
Well, they need some more of this, no matter who does it. Fallen woefully behind the West Indies, even though they've got wickets in hand. India were 108 for 3 at this point. So a little bit of reparatory work needs to be done here, just to up the run rate slightly. And Ramnari Sawan has the experience to do that.
The scoreboard shows the score that the West Indies should be at had any rain intervened at this stage. Ground stuff is just getting ready. Of course, we can't see where the rain is coming from our vantage point, but we did see it on the screen. I don't know what you make of it, Jeffrey, or from this part of the world, and you would know it pretty well playing all their cricket here.
Well, it should just be a shower that's passing over if we do get any at all.
I apologize for Jeffrey Dujon, Amanda. Now, India seem just to have been rattled in the last couple of overs. That's an overrun. Simple piece of fielding.
They did get a tricky bounce there. But just the attempt by the batsmen to start to run a few quick singles. You've seen some cracks in the Indian fielding.
Running away down the hill. Will be cut off, but still a couple more.
And this is something the West Indies don't do enough. Just drop the ball and run. Look to constantly pressure the men in the infield, as the Indians do to the West Indian fielders.
Have to hurry now. Direct hit, but he's home. Backing up well. Calling still. Joel Wilson, just to make sure.
Well, the Indians didn't look too excited about this, and rightly so. It was well home. Can't see why Joel Wilson would want to call for that. But he's in his first game. Better safe than sorry, I suppose.
But it's Norman Malcolm who's up there making the decisions on television. He should have been in the middle, but he's got an injury, and Joel Wilson came into his place. It's not a bad injury. He can sit in the box and watch everything on television and make his decisions from there. Down the hill, this should go for 4. Downhill and just getting there. Well, it certainly perked the crowd up. I don't know what they'll do if he hits a 6.
It's true if they cheer for an edge like that. But it gets him 4 runs. It's up to 15 from 30 deliveries. Sawan approaching a third half century. 46 from 56 balls. "25 overs gone. We're halfway there. 93 for 2.
These two have now raised the 50 partnership, and Sawan raises his individual 50. Third of the series.
Yes, well played by Ramner Sarwan. 50 from 66 deliveries. And the West Indies are just a little bit behind, not where they'd like to be, and it's getting to the point where they're going to have to try to up the run rate. This was the LBW appeal against Bravo, pitching clearly outside off stump, leg stump rather, and trying to play far too square, just played straight across the line of it.
Good save. Excellent save. Rohit Sharma had it past him. It would have been certainly two.
And this is the era where you need to have your best fielder. Signal wide. Appealing in hope more than anything else. Patel.
Too close for that shot. 20 of 44 deliveries to Darren Bravo. Sarwan comes down to have a word now. The spinner's on, it's been rat-a-tat-tat bowling. Now Bravo will look for a second run here, but Ishant Sharma is onto it. Limits him to one leg by. Long over, two wides, leg by, and 3 runs off the bat. 6 off it, 109 for 2.
Sarwan decides to try to pick up the pace, and he's found the gap out towards the mid-wicket boundary.
Well, that's what I meant by saying that he should try and throw the bowlers off their length. That's a very good shot, very clever shot. It's a big gap there between long on and mid-wicket. He's got close to the ball, and without taking much of a risk, he's hit it with the turn.
And he's gone in the air this time, all the way. That's what the West Indies need, and it's about time. They've waited some time for the acceleration.
Yes, and is it coming at the right time? 10 runs of the first 2 deliveries. Again, hit it with the turn.
Wonder if he's hurt himself. It seems so. Might be a bit of cramp. He's got 10 runs off 2 balls. Wants to be careful now, Sarwan. Doesn't want to drown in honey. This would be the last of the overs to make up 10 from the 3 part-time bowlers used by the captain.
Yes, things haven't gone quite well for the captain so far. He's bowling at an average of 6 runs an over.
Bravo still struggling. Raina, Patan and Kohli have combined for 9 overs and 5 deliveries. Remains to be seen if the captain will decide to continue with a bit of that bowling towards the end. Looks unlikely. Single to end over number 33. 12 runs off it, the most productive over for the West Indies. 131 for 2. Edged wide of the keeper, 4 runs. Educated edge, as they'll say.
But that's what the West Indies need. They need a boundary at the beginning of the over, because then they can look to work the ball away for singles and twos and keep up with the asking rate. The asking rate now under 7. Parthiv Patel not able to get to that, too far away from him. But he made a gallant effort.
Made his senior West Indies debut on this very ground against India a couple of years ago. That 4-match limited over series. He's pulled out straight past the bowler. Tennis shot.
Well, I'll tell you what, Fazir, last I checked, he wasn't in the draw for Wimbledon. He certainly wasn't in the draw, but that was a shot that Rafa Nadal would have been very proud of. That's a forehand. That's the kind of shot that you see from Rafa. But from the West Indian point of view, 8 runs off the first 2 deliveries. That is putting the pressure back on India and back on Ishant Sharma.
And in next to no time, the run rate has gone down. It's 6.85 now. And it's just the psychological advantage of being able to get early boundaries, which they've done in the last over. Now they've done it again.
Yes, sometimes you get into a groove and you're unable to get out of it. But you can see over here now, suddenly it's galloping. It was crawling to start with, but now it's begun to gallop. They've got wickets in hand, 8 wickets in hand. So if the required rate is about this 6.5, 6.8, with big hitters to come, it shouldn't be a problem. There's Marlon Samuels who can hit the long ball. There is Karen Pollard. There's Andre Russell. So 3 players who can hit the long ball. Carlton Ball can play an anchor-like innings like Sarwan's doing. And Darren Sammy also can use the long handle.
The challenge with the West Indies, though, as we've seen over the last few years, is that when, after a long partnership, the wickets start to go in bunches. And if they get into the habit of leaving it for the other, invariably it doesn't happen. So they've got to think of carrying it as far as they can, this 3rd wicket partnership. They're playing it sensibly, though. They've gotten the boundaries. There's no need to swing for everything.
Yes, they've got 9 runs from the over. But again, they mustn't relax, because they could again be confronted by somebody like an Amit Mishra and an Ashwin, who are not easy to score off. And they've got a few overs left. Mishra and Ashwin, those overs you can look at maybe 4 runs and over at best. So they've got to take into account that those 6 or 8 overs want to get them too many runs.
Ten runs off the over. Another good one for the West Indies. 141 for 2.
Well, he's missed the stumps. Someone's just, his mind somewhere else, not realizing that he should be running. He would have made it, but he took off really late. Now, Bravo's come down and said, you're the runner. And being a runner means you have to run.
I think Ian Gould was totally the wrong side of the play, because he had his back to Simmons. There we go. Gould has his back to Simmons. So if the ball hit the stumps, he had no idea where Simmons was. Thank God for television replays. Well, feel it. Ian Gould should have been on the upper side of the stumps, looking at the ball coming towards the stumps and also looking to see where Simmons was.
That's when you get all sorts of problems. When a runner is out there, we've seen 2 runners in the middle, more than once. Little deflection to third man, just one. A couple of still pictures which I have with me. Let's have a look at this. Bravo is there, and Simmons diving for his life, or for Sarwan's life. Shot, just one. Yeah, those 2 pictures, one with Vivian Richards and Enoch Lewis, I think it was, for the windwards, for the leewards, running hell for leather for the same crease. That didn't involve a runner, but running hell for leather, bats outstretched. And I think Viv got there first, luckily for Enoch Lewis. Here's Viv. And then another one when Javed Miandad was running for Imran Khan at Lord's. Just burst through Reiner. They'll get one, they'll come back for a second. Return comes in late. So a couple of runs to Bravo. 100 partnership between the two now. 129 deliveries. West Indies need 98 from 79 deliveries.
Sarwan has played such an important role. It's allowed Darren Bravo, who was very slow for the majority of his innings, not to feel too much pressure because Sarwan was keeping it ticking over. Now Bravo is well set. His strike rate is going up just a little bit more.
Ends the over. 13 remain. 98 to get, 154 for 2. Now they should get 2 here if they hurry. And they do. And they should get a third. No, they won't. Well, it's a fair-sized crowd that has come in on Thursday. 9 o'clock start. They came in during the course of the morning. Not a packed Sabina Park, but still a good crowd, and they've watched a good contest. And there's more to come.
I think another critical factor in the outcome of this match is going to be Ishant Sharma. How well can he bowl at the death? His general figures over his one-day career, over 5 runs and over on average.
Off the outside edge. It's a measure very difficult to get away.
So with all the batting to come, Ishant Sharma's 3 overs and Vinay Kumar as well, the real keys of this guy bowling, don't give him any wickets, and of course Ashwin. And that's why the West Indies should have a significant advantage if they play smart.
Yeah, that last phrase he used, if they play smart. We've seen them lose wickets in a cluster more than once in the series.
And that batting power play.
Only 2 runs off the over. West Indies pegged back 156 for 2.
Yeah, the decision, as always, as I stressed when the physio was on the field, is Sarwan is going to have to make a decision as to whether he's incapacitated to the extent by the injury that he cannot play with freedom. If that is the case, he might have to consider exposing a new batsman.
Janelle Springer, the physio, has come out. Perhaps she'll be giving Sarwan a few tablets, discussing whether he should retire, and he is going. So Sarwan's going to go off, not taking the chance. They've got wickets. He can come back, of course, but when he goes back into the dressing room, they can work on that extreme cramp. That's what we've been told his problem is. So he's going to come off the ground. And a little bit of a congrats as he goes off. Well, I'm not sure if it's congrats. It could be well. It's glad to see you leave. Marlon Samuels now comes in with Sarwan in some distress. But let's emphasize that he can come back. Otis Gibson calls him in. Not the loss of a wicket. He's replaced by Samuels. Mishra's finished 8 overs, and we've seen Samuels have some problems against Mishra. He's not the only one, of course. 96 from 72 deliveries. 8 runs and over on average required. Big target for the West Indies. As Marlon Samuels coming back into the West Indies team for the first time since that suspension. Came in the series against Pakistan early this year.
A little bit of pressure now on Darren Bravo. He's feeling now that he must take the initiative.
Faces around the ground, not telling much. I think mostly to pick up from them, they feel that the West Indies need to get a move on. That helps.
You can feel a big shot. It's not too far away from Darren Bravo. One attempt.
Here we go, and it's all the way. That's why we pay Ian Bishop the big bucks, just to make the prediction which he just did. Right on cue. Can feel a big shot coming on, he said. What about this one, Bish? You predict this one, please. So no prediction from Ian Bishop, which meant that he was going to play a defensive shot. 164 for 2.
Yeah, Ishan can make or break the game to some extent in this spell. Again, today he's gone at 5 and over, which is, I think, his career economy rate as well, which indicates that he goes for runs. Not sure, I can't remember how good he is bowling at the end of the innings, whether his Yorkers and changes of pace are from the top draw. Nearly 6 and over, in fact, is his career economy rate. What he can do is look to try to get a wicket. It's not that sort of Mr. Consistent, but he's a wicket taker. He's got to slip in place.
Straight to mid-off. Luckily, he just fumbled with it. Bravo goes down the wicket just to tell the fielder, look, I'm off. Ball's dead.
Critical for Marlon Samuels to understand where his strong areas are. He likes to hit straight. He will play a pull shot if it comes in his direction. There's a mid-off, so no one deep at long off.
They're quick between the wickets, but not always. The judgment of a run is good between these two, and they need to be. now Bravo. 3 balls remaining. Good over so far. Just that scramble single off the third delivery. Darren Bravo's half century 50 from 78 deliveries. Not always convincing, but he's remained there. And with Sarwan leading the way, he's given him support.
It's critical that he understands that his 50 really is more important in the context of what is to come now. That he's in, and that he goes deeper into the innings.
Into the 40th over now. Question of the batting power play will come into consideration. Hurrying for 1, back for 2, no. Ashwin comes in from off the mid-wicket boundary and limits him to 1. West Indies have called for the batting power play. 42 overs gone. The next 5, India can only have 3 men outside the ring. And the West Indies need to do something desperate here. They've got plenty of wickets in hand. Sarwan has retired. He was suffering from extreme cramps. But there are hitters to come. But there's so much to do, you just wonder if even for them it's beyond them. In the commentary box to carry through until the end, Fazia Mohammed and Jeffrey Dujan.
Thanks very much, Tony. Sir Vivian Richards there in the foreground in the bright yellow. Probably the most frustrated of all to see what is happening right now, Duj, with 2 players who are certainly technically correct, yes, but almost too correct for the requirements of this particular situation.
Well, Faz, I think the West Indies missed a trick here. The scoring rate was slowing down when Sarwan was there, and when Sarwan came off, I think they should have sent either Pollard or Russell, someone whose first intention is to hit the ball out of the ground. They needed an injection of pace into the run rate. I mean, Marlon Samuels is not naturally that type of player. And even if it was for a couple of overs, what Russell or Pollard lasted, it could have picked things up. But as it is now, things are sinking, and the hill is just getting bigger and bigger to climb.
We do have a batting power play now. Just 3 fielders allowed outside the circle. Long on, deep mid-wicket, and a long off. Feeling a ring on the offside to the left-hander. 10 and over required. Just the single.
Well, it's clear that normal batting is not going to do this. And I think it's been left too late by just, I think, a tactical blunder where the West Indies are concerned. There are big hitters in the hutch, but I think one of them should have been out there after Sarwan.
Again, only the single. This is not going to help the West Indies scores. They need, especially in these power play overs, to start swinging for the hills. They've got wickets in hand. Yes, there's always the concern about a collapse, but it makes no difference if you amble along and still lose by 20, 30 runs.
Bravo on 52 from 85 balls, so it's never really been a dash as such for the West Indies. They've needed this injection from a lot earlier on. So I think they've just compounded their problem. That's in the air, and it'll clear long on for 6.
Well, it's the second time in 3 overs that he's taken Ashwin over wide long on. And there's almost a look of, well, it's about time from that spectator. They really need to press on the accelerator and don't lift their foot off the pedal.
Well, we've seen a lot of dot balls in between, but that was a good shot from Darren Bravo.
He's gone again. That's even better. That's a massive one into the car park. It's done some damage maybe to somebody's vehicle, but the damage has been done to Ashwin's bowling and given the West Indies hope still.
Ashwin not really putting anything on it, just bowling wicket to wicket, and Bravo picks this one up nicely over mid-wicket. 12 runs in 2 balls. Another good shot.
The rate has gone down to 9.2, but essentially the West Indies really need to push it on. They've got 14 runs from this over so far. It's been their biggest over of the match. The ball has been retrieved. And the single to complete the first over of the last power play. 15 runs coming off it. 65 needed from 42 balls. Can't pierce the offside field. Good stop. He wants a change, wants Ishan to go a bit wider and that short third man. Almost deceiving him with the delivery going down the leg side. At the end, another dot ball, the googly. Full toss, swung away, a gift. It's a no ball as well. Over the waist, it's gone for 6. And a bonus for the West Indies here. Not going to be a free hit, but it's a no ball for the height.
And just above waist height, says umpire Gould. Needed extra delivery for the West Indies. Something India wouldn't want at this point.
Swung again. That's gone for another one, has it? It's gone all the way. He's exploding now and in the manner of the man who's just waving that flag, Chris Gayle. Feeling the pressure a bit, Amit Mishra.
That looked to be landing over the boundary. So Darren Bravo opening up. 4 it is, landed just inside. Got to check to see if it hit that boundary rope on the full. Pretty close thing.
Wide ball. You really didn't expect Amit Mishra to be caving in under pressure like this, but he's actually bowled some pretty poor delivery, some of the worst of the entire series for him in this over. "14 of the over so far, still 2 deliveries to go. The rate is getting down to almost 8 runs and over."
Good comeback there from Mishra. Yes. We'll put on a little pressure in this over. 2 sixes hit off him.
And a defensive prod to end another good over. 15 off it, 15 needed from 36 balls for the West Indies. Another full toss and dropped. Diving away to his right. Will India look back on all these half chances? A real mix-up in the middle.
Boy, there's always action when the West Indies are running between the wickets. There's always some excitement, sometimes comedy. Full toss, and this was an excellent effort. We'll see that in a second. And then I'm not quite sure who was saying what to who. And here's that attempt. Rohit Sharma it was. Spread out in the air. Managed to get a hand to it. That would have been a fantastic catch. Well, it just adds to the drama, adds to the excitement.
That's what Samuel's has been doing since he's come to the crease after Sarwan had to retire. 9 or 15 balls, 48 needed from 34. And Darren Bravo has really accelerated to give the West Indies a chance. He's now level with his best individual effort in a one-day international. He's pointing to where he thinks it should be hit, somewhere in the back of me. The former umpire in the first class game here in Jamaica. Out towards long off and clearing long off easily. Coming so easily off the bat now of Darren Bravo.
Well, this is just class. And he can hold the finish. See how balanced he is. Just gets in position, clears that front leg, and lets his arms go over long off. He's been looking better and better, Darren Bravo. And he's now got his top score. His previous best being 79.
Swings again. Just the single frustration that he didn't get it off the middle of the bat. 50 partnership comes up.
Well, he had other ideas about this one. He wanted to hit it somewhere else. And maybe just a little bit frustrated. I think that's the closest he could come to kicking himself. Closest. 41 from 32. The equation starting to favor the batting side. But it's all about momentum now. All about looking for the boundaries. Getting under a runner ball. 2 deliveries left in this over.
Pressure on the Indians. They've won the series already. Ian Gould wondering what's going on. Might think of 2 here. They're coming for it. So 11 runs off the over so far. They've got 41 in the power play overs and have brought the West Indies within sight of a victory that will certainly mean a lot to these fans. May not mean a whole lot as far as the test series to come or the one-day series that has already been lost. Certainly Raina looks a bit frustrated with what Vinay Kumar is offering now. .39 from 31 balls. Not again. Swing and a miss to end over number 45. 39 needed from 50 balls. Well bowled. Appeal for a stumping. I think they've got him. They think they've got him. Ian Gould taking it upstairs.
Well, he got him to reach for this one. Bravo isn't looking too happy. He's looks to be on his way. Drags the foot and nothing behind that line when the stumps are broken. I think he knows he's out.
Toe on the line, on the line, on the line, nothing behind. That's out. And I think he knows it. He was ready to walk off. He's walking off, in fact, even before the decision has been made. We should get the confirmation shortly. Bravo being told by the fans to stand his ground, not to walk off, but there it is, the red light, and he knows it. Like any batsman, he probably know exactly where his back foot was, and he's gone.
Just hoping against hope, but it's been a fine innings from young Darren Bravo. 86, very entertaining as well, and showed some class. It's 213 for 3.
Kieron Pollard, reputed for his spectacular hitting, has come to the middle, but first he's got to get bat on ball, and Amit Mishra could very well be a handful with this mixture of leg breaks and googlies.
Well, before there's any hitting, there has to be a bit of reading. This is Bravo's wicket, just overbalances, reached very far out there for that one, lost his balance and was beaten.
Should look for 2 here and will get it easily. Just a gentle tap into the gap.
It's Bravo's wicket. Big long stride, drags that back foot. Just maybe loses his balance because he reaches so far out for it. And there wasn't any question that he'd left home and not returned.
The Indians will welcome this. He's not entirely confident. Might probably be happy just to play out this over and hope he can smash the others. Inside edge, saved him there. And again we'll get 2.
Just tried to play him off the pitch. That one drifting down leg side.
"35 from 26 deliveries. Still in the power play. One power play over left after this one. More runs here. This could run away. Sharma gives up the chase. Pressure on Amit Mishra.
Well, maybe just getting a little bit rattled here, Mishra. Not the kind of deliveries we're used to seeing him bowling. Maybe wanted to pitch that a little bit shorter and have Pollard play across it. Maybe a leading edge. Just a bit too full. And he's bolstered the offside field now. Ring of 4 men and a long off.
Dot ball finishes Amit Mishra's spell, 2 for 46. It's 31 needed from 24 balls. We'll get at least 2 here. Time for Samuels to pick up the pace. 29 needed from 23 balls.
Yes, he'd been very quiet, Marlon Samuels, just facilitating the strike for Darren Bravo, but he's got to get going now.
We'll have to settle for just the single. Pollard comes on strike. And any time he comes on strike in any match, there is this expectation of big hitting.
Well, I don't think he's going to get anything pitched up to him for him to hit straight down the ground. Seeing Ashwin pulling the ball down. Just wants it just back of a length. He'll encourage Pollard more to play a pull shot or play across the line, I would think. Wouldn't want to be floating it up there, because he's very good straight down the ground.
Again, the variations of the slow bowler has him in 2 minds. He's not at all comfortable as yet. Hits it straight, hits it hard. Will he get 4? He does. Too powerful for the fielder coming around at long on.
Well, this is what he's good at, Kieron Pollard. This ball was struck with ferocious power. Long on just couldn't get around to it. He's a big man and he hits the ball very hard.
Wide ball called. Did that pass over the leg stump? But umpire Ian Gould says that it is a wide.
Well, let's have a look. It actually spins back, passes close to the leg stump, but it is a wide.
Content to play defensively to the last ball of the over. This has been a good power play for the West Indies. 23 needed from 18. Back past the bowler. 1 bounce. He's signaling 4 is the fielder. The umpire is going to have a look upstairs first for confirmation. Either way, it's a really good hit from Marlon Samuels.
Well, this was pretty flat. And hits the ground just in front of the boundary, so looks to be a 4 to me. And so signaled.
Vinay Kumar, so economical, so accurate, under pressure now. Swings away, down to third man for 4 more. This could be a canter now for the West Indies. Whatever the plans were to adjust Vinay's line, it's not working.
Well, he's trying to get it up into the block hole and just can't do it. And the top edge brings Samuels his second 4 in a row. 15 from 16 balls. Favors the batting team.
Slower delivery. Just the one. But it's now down to less than a run a ball. The West Indies should get it from here, you would think. But the game has turned on its head in the space of the last 5.5 overs. Full toss, a massive one that's launched into orbit, into the top deck of the North Stand.
Well, this is what he gets the big bucks to do, Kieron Pollard. That's a massive 6. That's a T20 type 6. Didn't even seem to put too much effort behind it. Bang, there she went.
Good stop. But I think the captain of India might know that it's almost gone now. 7 from 13 balls. I wonder if he could do any better, Chris Gayle. I'm sure he can. But he's not on the field. Slashed away. That's gone. 1 bounce 4. 20 runs off the over. The West Indies need just 3 more runs for victory. 2 overs to go. Just the 1. 2 needed for victory.
Kieron Pollard's 20 in just 11 balls. The injection that the West Indies needed seemed to wake up Marlon Samuels as well.
One to tie, 2 to win. Scores are level. Won't make a difference as to who wins the series, but it makes a difference for these fans here and long-suffering Caribbean fans. There's a test series to come, beginning here at Sabina Park on Monday. It'll be a very different game, but for the moment, Darren Sammy can smile. He's almost ready to jump out of his seat. You don't get too much to celebrate as a West Indies captain these days. Suresh Raina has seen his team cave in under the pressure. Was the energy at optimum? Were they totally up for it with the series already won? That's it. Celebration time in the West Indies camp, led off by the captain and the former captain. And another former captain wipes his head in some measure of relief that he's able to see his team, his former team, pull off a victory. Here comes Samuels now. When this moment came, Kieron Pollard, again, all raw power, back past Ishant Sharma and through the mid-on. It triggered the sort of celebrations as if the West Indies were on their way to the World Cup final. This is a significant indication here by Marlon Samuels, going first to Chris Gayle and acknowledging Gayle as the big man in the house. He finishes on 28, Pollard 24. But Darren Bravo and Ramnaree Sarawan were really the engine room for the West Indies effort.
Two wickets for Mishra, as we've come to expect. He again was economical, and 7 bowlers tried by India, but the pitch was just too good, and the West Indies didn't have too much of a problem today. So here's where we are. The West Indies won the toss and decided to bowl first, and India's offering was 251 in 47.3 overs, and by virtue of Darren Bravo's 86, 75 from Ramnaree Sarawan and a cleaning up job from Samuels and Pollard, the West Indies got home. 2 wickets for Mishra and 1 for Vinay Kumar.